Hello and welcome back. In this video, we are going to add the sellers, controllers, and routes to the API gateway service. We already added for the buyers. Let's add for the sellers. So go to API gateway service, controllers, users. I'm going to create a new, we already have a folder. Okay, no need to create a new folder. I'll create the file, create.ts. Okay, so here we just need a class. Okay, so maybe I will copy one of this method to save myself some time, and I think I will just import this. Okay, and then export class create, and the method I want to create, let me just copy one of these, and I'll call this seller. Okay, now what I need is the seller service. So seller service dot create seller, and here I'll pass request dot body, and I need the request here. Okay, so this is I think this should be created. Okay, and then the message, this is going to be seller. Okay, so this is what we need for creating the seller. Let's create the controller for the updates. So this is going to be update.ts, and this is as well, I'll copy this here. I'll call this update seller, and the method we need is update seller. Now this requires two properties: request.params.seller ID. Okay, let's check the method. Yes, it requires the seller ID and the body. Okay, here there's one thing we need to update that we have not updated. So here I'll pass in the size, type string, and then here this will take the size. Oh, sorry, this is supposed to be backticks random slash size. Okay, and then save this as well. Then the next one is the get. Okay, so I'll create the get controller. So this is going to be get.ts, and I can copy this. I'll call this get, and it's going to have several methods. This is going to be called ID, and then here we want the get seller by ID, and then we pass request.params.seller ID. Okay, and then here we send the same. Here is going to be okay. Does it already exist? Let me see, probably it was named differently. Yeah, get seller by ID. Okay, I think we are having issues. Let me try to import it again. Okay, we don't need to import it because we are getting it from this seller service. Okay, it makes sense here. Then I think I need to make one change. Let me go back to the updates. So this is going to be okay. Okay, I can close this. Oh no, not this. Then the next method is get seller by username. So I'll call this username, and it's going to be get seller by username, and then we pass the username. Okay, and then the last method is get random sellers. So I'll call this random, but this is going to be get random sellers, but here we need the what is the property? The size. So it's going to be request.params.size. Okay, but now for the data, it's going to be sellers. Okay, because we are returning a sellers array. Okay, so it's going to be sellers, and then we pass request.params.size. Okay, so we have the controller methods. I think one last one we can add it quickly is the seeds. Okay, so I will call this seed.ts. okay, and for this, remember, for this we don't need to send any data to the client, we just need to call it. Okay, we just need to call the API and then it will seed the data. Okay, I'll call this seller, and then here I think we only send, we don't need this, and the method is, we take a count, the method name is going to be seed. Okay, if we check, yes, we have the seed method. Okay, so save this, and now let us create the routes. Okay, so let's create the routes. Inside the route folder, I'll create a seller.ts file, and let me copy content of the buyer. Okay, I can remove this, I don't need this, and I'll change this to seller routes. Okay, so the first one, let me add the get. Okay, so get by ID. Yes, so get by ID. Now this is going to be seller /ID / seller ID. These properties we are adding here is what we are getting as from the request params. Okay, and then the next one is the username. So seller username / username, and then this is going to be username, and then the third one is going to be seller random then size. So this is going to be random. Okay, that is for the get. Now let's do the same for the post. So create, this is just going to be create. So this is going to be a post HTTP. This is going to be create, and then we can get it from here, and it's going to be seller. Then the next one is the update. Okay, so this is going to be, I made one mistake, I have not changed this. So the create will just be seller / create. Okay, and then the updates will be updates.seller, and it's going to be seller ID. That is going to be a put. And then lastly, we have the seed. So it's going to be seed / count, and the method or the class name is seller seed and seller. Okay, so now we've added the different routes to our seller routes class. Let's use this in the main route file. Okay, so here I will just pass seller routes, and this is going to be at gateway. Okay, so at this point we have added everything we need to add from the user service in terms of the controllers and the routes. So from the user service, we've added them also to the API gateway service. In the next video, we are going to test this out.